Hello everyone. In this video, let us discuss about the topic authorization, how to grant and revoke privileges to a particular user. Let's see about that topic. Okay. In SQL, the security mechanism is based on the concepts like authorization identifiers, ownership, and privileges. An authorization identifier is a normal SQL identifier which is used for identifying a particular user. Okay, so the normal identifier which can be used for identifying a particular user can be called as an authorization identifier. Okay, then the owner of a object, the owner of an SQL object can be identified by this authorization identifier, which is defined in the authorization clause of the schema to which this object belongs to. So as we know, every object, every relation or a view table belongs to a schema, right? So while defining the schema in the authorization clause, we will be giving the authorization identifier. So that authorization identifier specifies the owner of that particular object. Okay. So the object can be either a relation or a view table. So the owner of the object can be identified with the help of this authorization identifier, which is defined in the authorization clause of the schema to which this object belongs to. Okay. Now let us see what you meant by that privileges. Privileges are nothing but the actions that a user is permitted to carry out on a given table or a view table. Okay. So these privileges actually defines what all actions that a user is permitted to carry out on a particular relation. The SQL standard includes various privileges to authorize the user to read the data, to insert new data, to update the data, to delete the data, etc. So the select keyword can be used as a privilege to retrieve the data from a table. Insert, it's an authorization to insert new data. Update, it's a privilege to modify the existing rows of a data in the table. Delete, it's an authorization to delete the data. References, privilege to reference columns of a named table in integrity constraints. So we can authorize the user all or none or a combination of these types of privileges on a part of a database such as a relation or a view table. Okay, whenever a user submits a query or an update statement, the SQL implementation first checks whether the query or update is authorized or not. If the query or update is not authorized, it is automatically gets rejected. The keyword all privileges can be used to grant all the above privileges to a user instead of having to specify each and every privilege. Okay. The SQL data definition language includes commands to grant and revoke the privileges. So these statements allows to set up the security on the tables in the database. Okay. The grant statement is used to confer the authorization. That is, it is used to grant the privileges on the database objects to specific set of users. And normally this grant statement is used by the owner of the table and it is used to give the permission to other users for accessing the data. Let's look into the syntax. The keyword grant followed by the list of privileges, then on, then the relation name or view name, then to the user list. The privilege list allows the granting of several privileges in one command. Now let us look into how we are going to grant the privileges to the users using this grant command. Let us discuss with an examples. The first example, in that example, the privilege is select. So we are going to give the read privilege to the user. The user list consists of two usernames, user1 and comma user2. So this read privilege will be given to the user1 comma user2 on the relation department. So this statement allows the user 1 and 2 to have the read privilege on the department relation. Okay, fine. Second example, the privilege is update. Update on the attribute budget on the table department to the user 1 and 2. So this grant statement gives the user 1 comma user 2 to have the update authorization on the attribute budget of the department relation. Okay, so only the update privilege will be granted to the user 1 and user 2. Okay, then grant all privileges on department to manager. So the user is manager. So the manager will be having all the privileges on the relation department. Okay, so he can now retrieve the rows. He can uh, insert, update, or delete data from this table. So the manager can also reference the other tables too. So this manager is given with all the privileges on the table department. Okay, so the grant statement, the grant keyword grants the privileges to the users listed in the user list. Okay. The with grant option clause in the grant statement allows the users to pass the privileges they have been given for an object on to other users. Okay, so if this clause is specified in the grant statement while granting the privilege, then the privilege that the user got can be transferred to other users. Okay, so if this keyword is not specified, then the user is not able to pass the privileges on to other users. So the keyword with grant option allows the users to pass the privileges that he got to other users. Let's look at an example. Grant all privileges on department to manager with grant option. Okay, so the manager is granted with all the privileges on the department, and that too with grant option. So this manager can pass all these privileges to other users. Okay, so this manager is given with all privileges, and these privileges can be passed to other users, because while granting, the manager is given that in the grant statement itself, the clause with grant option is specified. Okay. The creator of an object holds all the privileges on the object, including the privilege to grant privileges to others. As we just mentioned, the user can pass the privileges that he got to other users. So initially, the database administrator grants an update authorization on a table, say department, to some users, say U1, U2, and U3, who may in turn pass on this authorization to other users. Okay, so this passing of this specific authorization from one user to another can be represented by means of a graph named as authorization graph. Always the root of this graph is the database administrator. Nodes of this graph are the users. The edges from one node to another node indicates that the node or the user grants authorization to the second user. So if there is an edge from U1 to U4, it indicates that the user U1 grants authorization to the user U4. So a user has an authorization if and only if there is a path from the root of the graph down to the node representing the user. So from the root, from the database administrator, there should be a path to the particular node. So if you are saying about the U5, there should have a path from the DBA towards the U5. Then only the user is said to have an authorization. Okay, so this authorization grant graph indicates the passing of these privileges from one user to another user. Now let us look into the second statement, the revoke command. This command can be used for revoking or taking out the privileges already granted from the users. So to revoke an authorization, we can make use of this revoke statement. It takes a form almost very similar to that of grant. So instead of the keyword grant, here we are using the keyword revoke. Revoke privilege list on table name from the user list. In the grant command, we are giving the keyword to. So we are granting the permission to a set of users. Here we are revoking or taking out the privileges from a user list. So the keyword used here is from. You please make note on that. Okay. Thus, to revoke the privileges that we granted previously, we can write it as revoke select on department from user 1 comma user 2. Similarly, revoke the update privilege on the budget attribute on the of the department relation from the user 1 and 2. Revoke all the privileges defined on the department from the user 1. Okay, so the keyword revoke can be used for revoking an authorization that we already granted. Okay. The with grant option of the grant statement allows the user to pass the privilege to other users, right? Similarly, in the case of revoke, the clause grant option 4 allows the privileges passed on via the with grant option of the grant statement to be revoked separately from the privileges themselves. So, this clause allows the privileges to be revoked. Example, revoke grant option 4 all privileges on department from manager. So this grant option clause allows the privileges passed on via the with grant option of the grant statement to be revoked. So with the help of this grant and revoke statement, we can put some security level to the database. Okay. But when there are many users in a database, it becomes very difficult to grant or revoke the privileges to each and every users. For example, if you are having 100 instructors and all the instructors should have a similar type of privileges, we have to make use of 100 grant statement to give the privilege to this 100 instructors. So instead of that, if you are grouping this instructor into a group, and we are granting the permission to this group, then we can grant the privileges with the help of a single statement. So a role is a collection of privileges that can be granted to a group of users or other roles. So a role is a collection of privileges that can be granted to a group of users. Okay, these roles help us to grant and manage the set of privileges for various categories of users rather than grant those privileges to each user individually. So here we are passing out the privileges or we are granting the privileges to a category, to a group of users instead of granting the privileges to each and every user individually. Okay. Any authorization that can be granted to a user can be granted to a role too. Okay. So if a privilege is applicable to a particular user, then that privilege can be granted to a role also. Examples of roles include instructor, teaching assistant, student, dean, department chair, etc. So a similar category or similar group of users are grouped and the privileges will be granted to this group. So that's the concept of having the roles. For example, as we said, individual permissions given to instructors need not be specified again if the instructors are grouped. So we are creating a role for instructors and then specify the authorizations that every instructor is to be granted with or revoked from. Authorizations can be granted to roles in exactly the same fashion as they are granted to individual users. Now let's see how can we create a role and how we can grant privileges to this role. Okay. We can create a role in SQL with the help of create role command, create role name, create role instructor. Okay. After creating a role, we can grant the privileges to this role just as the users can. Okay, so with the help of this grant command, we can grant the privileges. Grant select on department to instructor. So to the role instructor, the read privilege on the relation department is granted. Okay. Roles can be granted to user as well as to other roles. Example, create role Dean. We created another role named as Dean. So now we created two roles, instructor and a Dean. Okay, fine. Now using this grant statement, grant instructor to Dean. So what all privileges an instructor is having, that all are transferred to the Dean also. So we can grant the privileges to user as well as to other roles. So Dean is a role. So from the instructor role, the privilege that the role is having is transferred to another role, Dean. Okay. The second grant statement, grant Dean to Asha. So Dean is a role. So from the role, we are the privileges that the role is having is granted to a user named as Asha. So the roles can be granted either to user as well as to other roles. So in this video, we discussed about the term authorization, the grant and revoke statements, how to grant some form of authority to a user, how to pass on this authority to other users, how to revoke that authorization from a user, etc. Right? Thank you.